I'll be calling you a radical. Dillon Jones' debut in the 2024 Combine. So, is he the next Damian Lillard? Well, I don't know. In a lot of ways, there's a lot of similarities the way it's played out. Lillard never played in a NCAA tournament game. Dillon never played in it. Kevin Blanch got deathly ill during Lillard's career doing the play-by-play here. Almost died. Missed a few of his games. Kevin Blanch got deathly ill. Freaking open heart his junior year. Dillon, so many similarities. I'm telling you, Damian Lillard's stock went up right now. Damian Lillard was a second-round pick. Maybe they're talking, right? I'm telling you. By the way, Glenn Campbell, not that Glenn Campbell, but one of the all-time old great bands, obituaries in the paper today. I sat right with him. I sat on the front row this year. He sat right there. 98 has passed. Got to see all this. I mean, it was so awesome to get. I wasn't going to miss this because I missed most of Damian Lillard's senior year because I was in a bone marrow transplant center fighting for my life full of AML leukemia. I wasn't missing Dillon. I sat on the front row. So now Mr. Freeze, who's the biggest. You think I'm a Lillard? Well, he's the Lillard fan of all time because he was there from day one. Well, so was I. But Dillon, there's only one person who called out Dillon as an NBA player quicker than I did. Oh, yeah, Mr. Freeze. I introduced them to each other. Hey, Kevin, can you get Dillon over here? He's a freshman. This is COVID. I'm like, it was right before COVID. And, or no, it was COVID, wasn't it? Let's see. 2020, 2020, yeah. Yeah, it was COVID. And I think you're better than Damian Lillard was at this stage. I'm like, I don't think so. No way. Damian Lillard was an NBA prospect in high school. I don't think people realize that. So, his debut. So, Lillard's stock rose up. Wasn't the Combine in 2011 like it is now. I mean, they actually play a tournament game. So, last year, I started telling everybody around me, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think Dillon Jones is going to sneak into the NBA draft and gone. I was saying this early in his junior year, and everybody's like, oh, you're crazy, blah, blah. It ain't going to happen. As things progress, he got into the Combine because of Damian Lillard. I talk to Dillon all the time. He and I have been very close since day one. Dillon Jones is a 4.0 student, by the way, so you know. So it was Lillard that got him scratched into the Combine. He scratched in last year. He was the best player in the entire Combine. The team that wanted him was the Celtics. The Celtics were going to draft him with that late first-round pick, I'm telling you. And it got right down, and, it was a tough choice for Dillon. He said he waited for the last hour before he decided to stay. And, I mean, this isn't a transfer portal guy. All 4 years, I met him right off the get right out. Remember that he was good. And people say, you knew he was an NBA player? No. When he was a freshman, I liked him, but fuck, there's been so many good players come through here. It's unfucking real. Sophomore year, better. Watched him grow. Did I think he was NBA? No, I mean, maybe, possible. Junior year. Oh, yeah. I watched his game develop. I watched his game change. He had no three-point shot. Oh, has he got a three-point shot? I watched him work hard. I used to tell him all the time, I'm the first guy that started calling him Dillon Magic Jones. If you play back the tape, goes way back. I started calling him that in his sophomore year. Got high dribble, rebound, coast to coast, double-double, freaking, oh my God. Started to see it happen. But then he started working on that at the rim game. That at the rim game really didn't develop till really late his junior year and his senior year. Not to mention his free throw percentage. You know, a lot of people don't know this about Damian Lillard here. Damian Lillard is the all-time leader in free throw percentage. He led the country. Damian Lillard led the country in a lot of freaking. Dillon Jones, he's huge. 6'6", but he's a big 6'6". He reminds me of Adrian Dantley in so many ways, and he developed that this year at the rim. He fights at the rim, he fights the rim, and the fights at the rim, and then boom, and one. One of the best free throw shooters in the history of this university, and he's not a guard. Well, he is a guard. He's not a forward. Oh, he is a forward. He's not a center. Oh, he is a center. I'm telling you, he's Dillon Magic Jones. Dillon Dantley Magic Jones. Magic Jones, I remember the first time I told him, I says, I'd change your name to Dillon Magic Jones. God, you're making my head really swell. Grow. He says, grow. I said, yeah, like the rest of you. You're getting huge. You got that body. He plays physical in there. Like a Charles Barkley. Like Adrian Dantley. I mean, his positioning, he's a beast. He's a fucking beast. That high dribble, get the rebound, coast to coast, and score it. And he's learned that spot up freaking three. I mean, he had 5 buzzer beaters at the wire this year. You know, me and him always talk about it. He says St. Mary's his best game. That might have been Lillard's best game, but I don't think so. I think it was the Jackrabbits game here because he was the glue that held the game. I mean, without him, and then I think the Sac State here, he buzzer beated that one. I mean, without Dillon, they lose it. I mean, this team's falling apart. You can see it. It's the coaching. It's not the players' problem here. This coaching tree has been here way too, and this coaching tree sucks. You know, the Damian Lillard junior year when they lost that to Anthony. Okay, Anthony Johnson had the greatest thing. You know, he passed away this year of a stroke. Okay, but the 2011, 2012, I had to watch that game from the bone marrow transplants unit at LDS. That's where I watched that game. Going in out of coma in 2012, but that team was so good, but so was Montana. That 2011-20 team was something else. You had Scotty Bamford and Damian Lillard on the floor together the whole career. And Scotty Bamford, one of the writers just woke up in New Mexico, named him the greatest native New Mexican in history basketball player. No doubt in my fucking mind. That fucker's so good. He was so good here. You had those two in the back. This is the greatest backcourt in history. The greatest point guard I used to always think was Ruben Nemhart. I still say that. Jimmy DeGraff, because why? Because Ruben Nemhart and Jimmy DeGraff won. Jimmy DeGraff, that's who needs to coach this team. Jimmy DeGraff needs to. I got to tell this story, and I always cut it off and I get sidetracked. But Jimmy DeGraff, I was the student professor in 1995, the #1 school of business in the country. I worked for a hedge fund. I had blanch, plaster. I had plenty of money. I mean, probably too much. But I self-made guy. So I helped out here with Coach Abega. You know, and I helped keep players in class. I kept track of players. I mean, Ruben right next to me. I remember we had Gary Doerr's English class together. I love that guy. You know, I was doing my thing, freaking the student professor at the #1 school business in the country. Jimmy DeGraff, 1995. Could be the best team in the history of this school. Debatably. You know, Sakowitz always says it. No, it's our 68-69 team when he missed the free throw to go to the Elite Eight when they were in the Sweet 16. Could be. Jimmy DeGraff. They go into Michigan. Judd Heathcote's Weber State's last game in the Swenson. Double overtime major upset. I think Montana had Michael Ray on that team, Richardson. Judd Heathcote upset him, huge upset. Swenson, you know, we're talking back in the days of the great Justin Thigpen and Willie Soldier. Oh, now those were players. Reddy Small. So, this is here on the hill. Before you go downtown the old campus, you're talking Wamasaka. You're talking, you know, those type of players that won 2 national championships. Why is this? Born and raised in Ogden. Those type of players at Weber State. Alan Holmes. Mr. Freeze was telling me, he says, you know how I became a Weber State fan in 1958-59? Jack Garner wasn't playing at the U, so he came to Weber and won a national championship. That's Byron Russ's real father, by the way. Byron Russ was born and raised here. But she had to move them out. That Washington junior high team, fuck, they'd beat everybody by 50. They had those red, white, and blue uniforms down there on 35th in Washington. That Leslie Hudson masterpiece. Oh, fuck, they were the best one. But the coaches were so fucking racist up here. Ogden High, Weber High, even Ben Lomond. Those guys didn't play. Ben Lomond, not as much. Ogden High was so fucking racist. And, you know, this multi-diversity. And I want to say this because congratulations to you Ogden High soccer team. So I've been with them all the time. You know, my grandsons play at Mount Ogden, but they were in New York in that epic 21-goal overtime freaking the craziest game I ever seen at Mount Ogden this year. So the Ogden High kids, you know, I know them all through my grandsons because this town is soccer mad. And I've got to say this, and I'll get back to Jiminy DeGraffity. I got to say this town's soccer mad. Ogden High won the state championship. I remember talking to the kids, you know, at Mount Ogden. They're at the Mount Ogden game. The Ogden High guy, well, you guys any good? One kid looks at me, you might say that. The other one says, why don't you just come and find out how good we are? Okay, I will. So I started going to all the games. I'm like, oh, they're not arrogant. They're that fucking good. They beat the 17-0 Mantine. They won the state championship. And I really believe, and I'm going to tag this video, that what changed the gang violence problem in Ogden. I mean, we had a horrible, I used to call it blood. I mean, the violence and the problem here existed till not very long ago. You know what changed it? I'll tell you what changed it. Soccer. Soccer, because all these cultures played together. Soccer's so deep-rooted into the Latino culture in this town, Ogden, what would you say? 65%, 70% Latino, Mexican, immigrant. They're soccer mad. It's their culture. So the African American kids play with the Mexican kids, with the white kids. It's multi-diverse. And look at that Ogden High team. They've got all of that on that team. And it's brought this community together in an incredible way. I mean, these kids, you go to the fucking games. I mean, that St. Joe's team won it when that guy took those kids. You go up to those games and hear that. I'll get back to that. Let's finish Jimmy DeGraffity. So Jimmy D, on a Friday, I'm at that game. Huge upset. I remember David Locke, who's the worst sports announcer. We go from Hot Rod Hunley to Dave Locke. Oh, fuck, what a piece of shit. We have Klauke here. We love Klauke. And then, of course, we had Kararki. Awesome. He's the one that named Lillard the Great Dame. And so, Jimmy DeGraffity, he's in the finance, he's in the business department over there. The #1 school of business in the United States. Now, do not forget this. All through the 90s, the legendary finance professor Clyde Cooley, we're beating Harvard, we're beating Yale, we're beating Princeton. Our sister school that we used to go back and forth with is Trump's old school, Elon Musk's old school, Wharton. They'd come there, we'd go there, blah, blah, blah. We're beating them every year. So I'm the student professor there, being prepped. You know, I got a Wall Street career, I got my plastic career, you know, helping. You know, they required us back. I taught with Matt Godfrey. Matt Godfrey came out of that program. Yeah, the old mayor. So that's how it worked in those days. We were required to do that. I mean, before they blackballed me. So they went on Friday. They pulled that 14-point. David Locke tells me right to my face, oh, they're sent to the woods. They're going to get killed, blah, blah. I told her, I'll bet you $1,000 right now. They went, well, what's the line in Wendover? I says, the money line's 8-1. I put $3,000 on Weber State to win. And, oh, they fucked. On the money line. Those fuckers out there, that sportsbook almost had heart failure. I says, wait till they beat Georgetown and Allen Iverson. So Friday they went. Saturday, day off. Sunday, I'll never forget that fucking game. Joel Bass is going to retire. So Joel was trying, I'll never forget, Joel told Ruben Nemhart, because he missed the front end. It was a great free throw. Fuck, Ruben Nemhart was badass. I got to tell this too. Now, let me finish this, and then we'll talk about Ronna Baglin, Randy Ray. Oh, fuck Randy Ray and fucking Duck. They suck. It's a 20-year tree that just shredded this program. So, Sunday, they've got Allen Iverson, Georgetown beat the whole game. They're just beating them the whole game. They're in desperation mode. You know, they got a foul in desperation mode. There's no time left on the clock. We was already ahead, you know, by one. Foul. You know, they're running clock out. They foul Rubin. Great free throw shooter. So uncharacteristic of him. What a great player. He misses the front end. So there's hardly any time. So they scramble. They throw the ball. They throw a fucking... Allen Iverson shoots his worst shot in the history of his career. I mean, if he even caught a little bit of fucking rim, he caught anything, game, it's a fucking air ball. He's trying to score. I mean, it's a fucking air ball. And it was like the Thurl Bailey shot to win the national. By the way, they cut down the nets here, Jimmy Valvano in the tournament. Puts it back. So heartbreaking is fluke. So he comes home, Jimmy DeGrafferty. When they get home, and I'm like, Jimmy, test is due. And we're talking one of the hardest tests on this fucking campus pool in the country. You know, we're talking these finance fucking test coolies. I mean, oh fuck. You're Mr. Blanch, your time in the barrel. Whoa. Clyde, he cut nobody no slack. I says, well, Dr. Cooley told me to tell you that he'd give you a couple days. This is a really rare situation to study for the test. I don't need extra days. When did you study? On Saturday at the hotel room between games. With all that going, yeah. He got the fucking class high. We're talking. He's that intelligent. He's got coaching experience. He came out of his real estate, his everybody went into that business in those era, you know, or Wall Street. I mean, that finance program. I mean, talk about the who's who that came through those classes in the '90s, but they're all successful. You know, I still am, just in a different way. So, class high. So he coaches Southern Utah here a few years ago, just out of nowhere. Wins the state championship. Ron Banglin, Utah. Fucking what a great coach. So, Harold Arson of the show, the great, incredible Gil. Oh my God, what a fucking player. When they'd get in trouble, I remember with Rubin, they would slow it down. He'd call timeout. I mean, I'm sitting right there. He would just slow the ball down, spread the court. He had Jimmy DeGrafferty on that baseline jumper of his. It would spread the court and put Rubin on the post. Rubin thick, strong. I've always said big, strong, physical point guards win championships. Put him down on the block. It spread the court. Point guard playing post. It was unfucking stoppable. The Jazz just do it a little while. They did it with Shannon Anderson for a while, but slow quit going to it. Unstoppable. So when Randy Ray gets it, I got to tell this story. Randy comes in and gets this job. I was not for the Randy Ray hire because I like Stu Morrill. He did nothing but win, but he's always in Wendover playing slot machines. I used to talk to him, blah, blah, blah. He couldn't win a tournament game. You know? Ron Banglin could. They gave the game thing to Cravens when they should have gave it to Guy Beach. Guy Beach wanted the job, which Arsenal, he played here. You know, just like they let Ben Howland get away. That great coach. He played here. You know, when they get mentored by guys like Neil McCarthy, Dick Mott, and the great, incredible Phil Johnson. I mean, this is the kind of coaches here. So I remember Blake and drew up some plays. We were at an event here right after Randy got hired and handed them to Randy. As soon as Banglin walked off, Randy went like that and threw him in the garbage. Randy Ray couldn't make a pimple on Ron Baglin's ass. Neither could Duff. This coaching tree could not fucking win with Michael Jordan. This coaching tree couldn't win with Bill Russell on the floor. This coaching team couldn't win with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And if you know anything about Kareem Abdul and Bill Russell's fucking college careers, if you don't, look them the fuck up. They would lose, I'm telling you. So it's not Lillard's fault, the great fucking Damian Lillard, you know. Who's the greatest NBA player in the history come out of this school? Third, Damian Lillard. Second, Damian Lillard. First, Damian Lillard. The best player I ever saw why they played on the court here, that's Jerry Carney. No doubt. Until this guy, Dillon Jones. So back to, these are important videos. Back to Ogden. What stopped the gang violence? And it stopped. Not this fucking SWAT team that shoots people all over. Ask Matthew Stewart, not those fucking lunatic freaks. And Weaver State has an excellent police force. They're the best. They know everybody and everything. They're polite. They're friendly. They make sure they know everyone. They're the best. This is the best police force in the country, bar none. So, unlike the New York Goon Squad, I mean, don't even get me going on that, or Berkeley. Those are outside forces that come into universities. I don't think they're going to allow that here. Well, you never know here. So gang violence ended in Ogden because of one thing: soccer. Soccer. This city is soccer fucking mad. Soccer mad. My grandsons, who know Rashid Shaheed personally, Rashid spent so much time with him. These football coaches are all over him. I love the two, because they know Noah Tagi. He's born and raised here, maybe with the Bears. I remember them talking to Noah, because they played football for the Titans over here. Badasses. They're beasts. They're fucking. They're just beasts. Run like the fucking wind. Fucking strong, physical, fucking. But they play soccer, and they're good. They're fast. They're strong. We play for, and he says, I play for the Jets, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, how did you get Heckard's autograph? He doesn't on that big board. They run around like monsters at the games, the heathens that they are. And he says, Noah Tagi made him. So Rashid used to spend time with them, talking, visiting with them, blah, blah, about running, gait, blah, blah, athletics, whatever. They play soccer. This town, they live here in Ogden. Born and raised here. 9th generation. The fucking town's soccer mad, and this win by Ogden High School 2024. When I went and watched them, I'm like, fuck, you're like a professional team. I never saw it. The ball handling, the passing. Fuck, the big kid, I think his name's Lincoln. Fuck, he hit a fucking 40-yard strike from hell's like a laser. I was like, whoa. I remember halftime here, they honored the great Dr. Goff, who saved my life. Thomas Blanch, my uncle, right there's office. Trained him, the great Thomas guy. I wish he'd have done my surgery the first time. Who played football at Ogden High? They had the Ogden High kids. They're the basketball team, the same kids play basketball that play soccer, some of them. One kid goes down this halftime and throws it down. I'm like, oh. There's a bunch of athletes up here. Ogden's turned into this soccer mecca, and that's the gang violence thing is way down from what it was. Ogden had fucking horrible problems, especially, for decades, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s. It was a fucking mess here. It's come to a fucking, it's went like this because of one thing: soccer. These underprivileged youth that grow up with these immigrant parents that, have no money, even the immigrant parents, they'll find a way to scratch up the money to put these kids into comp soccer. Gotta say this because St. Joe's, this coach here in 2019 put these kids together. St. Joe's cost a lot of money to go. And he put down a foundation for different people in the community to sponsor some of these lower income, underprivileged kids to play up there. Go have a conversation. That's who I sit with at the games. Go have a conversation with those young men. Now they're 19, 20 years old. So they won the state championship. So culture can change. Dillon Jones. I've never seen a player like this. Never. He's the greatest player I ever saw here. He passed. And if you haven't been paying attention to the great Jerry Carter in Europe, somebody says, well, God, he's too short. He ain't too short. He passed on a contract to the Mavericks. He was the player of the year in the Summer League 2 years ago. I remember being in San Diego, and I walked by his tide pooling, like I'm always at, and I walked by in one of the open bars at OB, and I'm like, because I was down there on that reef, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, we got to go in there. Right as I went in there is when he's falling away making that half quarter. I'm like, fuck, there he is. He just fucking went crazy. He still does it over there in Europe, though. He's getting rolled. So the Jazz get the 10th pick. They traded Gobert. They traded the incredible, I love his fucking game, Donovan Mitchell. They're still playing. They won 2 on the road in Dallas. In Denver, you thought it was over, huh? They woke them up. They went 1-2 in Minnesota. So that is, Gobert's got to wake up. We'll see if he does. He's got to. They got to do the thing with it. What a series. And same with. I mean, these are. You got hot players. Donovan Mitchell. The Jazz traded to get all these picks. What? They got the 10th pick. Weren't they like the worst team in the NBA this year? Fuck, they're every. I mean, it's sad what happened. It's actually. I hate the fucking Jazz. I was at this game. Jordan dropped it. It's a Sunday. I scalped that ticket for $40. The face value 68. The guy sitting next to me from Chicago paid $8,000. My season tickets I had for all those years, I got rid of them. When Stockton Malone went, I was never a big fan of Jerry Sloan's, but compared to Snyder and these guys, oh yeah, I mean, they were the 1 seed. Remember with those guys? They got how's that? It's like here, something the state of Utah's forgot how to do in basketball. This is basketball state this decade. Win. You go back to Majerus, 99, Andre Miller. Oh, my God. So, what's changed culturally here in Ogden? I'm telling you, and you call I crazy. What changed the youth here and the young people here? And it's really changed the gang violence dynamic radically. Soccer. It has brought this community together. This community is soccer fucking mad. Well, the whole state is. You can't go to any fucking field, any park. There's parks like that Mount Airy out there in Ronclair where that was the worst neighborhood in the world. Fuck, nobody dare go in that park. Fuck, that's full. Playing soccer fucking 7 days a week. That old dumpy one in West Ogden, right by 16th Ward there, full. Playing soccer. They're all full playing fucking soccer. So it needs to build a big, beautiful indoor. Oh, we got one out there. It was going to be the Taylor Ducks. The new high school's got one there. So anyway, the football program, Dr. Hanley wanted to turn Weber State football into men's soccer. He was ahead of his time. He's Ogden High. He what a fucking genius. His brain went. He knew how corrupt and dirty he was. A snowball's Hanson Hill, but they turned it around for a while. We'll see how it goes this year. They got athletes, but that don't mean shit. Coaches matter. And so, Dillon, debut. I'll keep you updated. I still say he's going 6 or 7. I really do. Because I talked to him about this so much. Lillard was a second rounder. Then, after the season got over and he got into these things, people were like, started looking at his numbers. Fuck, who's got better numbers than DILLION Jones? Nobody. And he's like, he was a late first rounder last year. So you're projecting a late first. His game from now till then is like night and fucking day. Gotta go with that left, Jerry Cardine. So we'll see, but I got a hunch he's going to shine. Playing against LeBron's son. That whole LeBron James saying, I want to play with my kid. Fucking Lakers, come on. I still say he's going to the Lakers. Dillon, I still say it. And the only reason I say it because I know for a fact the Celtics want him. The Celtics, 40 minutes with Joe on the phone, he told me they want him. They're going to have to trade up to get him. They ain't getting him fucking, because they might win this whole thing unless Donovan knocks him out. And he's on fire. We'll see. There's some players on that fucking Celtics team. I'd like to see him go to a franchise that knows how to fucking win. There's not many of them. And the Jazz should have fucking one of them. They won back in this area. 85 to 2000, won his franchise sports. They never won a championship, but who could against fucking MJ? Nobody. So who's the GOATs? NBA GOATs. Let me finish this. My top 5. Wilt Chamberlain would be the GOAT. Hands down, he would be the GOAT. Average 50 points a game. Oh, he triple doubles, quadruple. Fuck, they didn't keep the stats. If you go retro on triple doubles and quadruple doubles, he's got 10 times more than any player in the history. I mean, rebound, it's just fucking beyond a freak. But he couldn't beat Bill Russell, could he? And everybody says, well, Bill Russell had more weapons than him. I don't know. That 67 team, he fucking played with some great, that fucking guard that play. He doesn't get his credit. Played on those old fucking Warriors teams in Philadelphia. What was his name? Oh my God, that fucker was good. And, he played with some fucking great players. He did beat him in 67. Just historic game. Bill Russell could have been a 40-point game guy easy if he wanted. Look at the rebound. I mean, so I put Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, in an era where he scored 85 points a game, still to this day, is the average for a career points per game, even more than Wilt's. And this is a guy who won defensive championship how many years? So, You know, you got we got Will Chamberlain, but so I go Bill Russell, Kareem, and Michael Jordan. Now LeBron, he's right up there, but I'm putting top 5. You know, Kobe, he's way up there, but I'm putting top 5. You know, Karl Malone and Stockton, they're way up there. They're not top. I mean, but who's 5th? John Havlicek. John Havlicek, all those tournaments. Remember, he won championships after the Celtics were. Well, they're done, right? Bill Russell retired. They're over. They're done. By the way, Bill Russell coached part of those champions. He was player coach when Auerbach left. People forget that. John Havlicek's player doesn't get his dues. How many rings he got? 11, 12. He won championships without Russell. How about Tommy Heinsohn? How many he fucking won? Fuck, Tommy Heinsohn, I think he's in the Hall of Fame 3 times. As a broadcaster, as a coach, as a player. He was a rookie the same year. Yeah, so, I don't know. There's a debate that could be made that Will Chamberlain still is, but Michael Jordan, the only one he could never beat was Isaiah Thomas. Them fucking late. Fuck, those Pistons. Ooh, badass. So what did they do? Well, they got smart. That guy that was everybody's nemesis, they traded and got him. The rebound. That'd be Dennis Rodman. So, how about Kerr? How many's he got? Steve. So, but I put those 3. We can debate it till the cows come home. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, Michael Jordan. Bill Russell, Michael Jordan. I'd probably put Kareem 3rd. Wilt's 4th, and I'd put Wilt 1 if he couldn't be Bill. So maybe Wilt's 2nd. Then 5, John Havlicek. So the rest, there's a bunch of great players, but they have to be done. LeBron's not done. He needs to be done. I want to play with my son. Well, I'm hoping that Dillon goes there, Dillon Magic. Oh, you can't use that name's been used. No, Magic was used. Wait, remember what's his name played for the Globetrotters? Magic in basketball has been used as a nickname. That goes clear back to the 1920s. And by the way, a guy in Canada with a peach basket did not invent basketball. Native Americans played basketball. They had 2 poles, pole right here on this sacred ground. A pole here, a pole there. They'd play for hours. They played basketball for at least 20,000 years. At least. We know that. It's kind of like, who invented soccer? Kicking a rock around. Fuck. I think fucking maybe what's the name of the new species of humans? Not Neanderthal. What's the other ones they named after? Denisenians. They probably kicked the rock. Throwing a ball in a basket, bouncing a ball, pretty freaking basic. That's why I love it so much, you know. Kobe Bryant, I'll leave it at this. The great Kobe Bryant. He's way up there, don't get me wrong. He's a hell of a player. 18 years old, it's against the law, supposedly. He's like, no. You can't say it's against the law. I know the Constitution. Well, you don't think I'm smart enough? I didn't go to college. I'm not smart enough? He does press conference in multiple languages, including Chinese, including Japanese, including Italiano. To a trainer that used to work here, Kevin, you know, Kobe Bryant's got a mind like yours. He was one of Kobe's trainers, Lakers. There's a lot of those that came out of here that are around over the years. That's a Weber State employee right there. In a Weber State vehicle. And about 100. So, what do you mean? He's got that quantum physics brain like yours. What do you mean? He says, he told everyone, he says, don't you think it's amazing how basketball tells the tale of culture before it happens? Oh, I can get into that. Kobe. Right before the pandemic started. So the old fan now, it's Mr. Freeze is the old 96. So I got Kobe, right, excuse me. I got Dillon, Dantley, Magic Jones. I got him at 6 or 7. That's where I got him right now. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going to tag this. What changed the Ogden, Utah violence? Soccer. I'm telling you, the town is soccer mad, and those kids winning the Ogden High State Championship. You think all that ain't nothing? Oh, it's something. That team is the fucking best I ever saw at soccer in high school. And so, go Dillon. Stay in tune.